Hello and welcome to Deliberately Creative. I'm Stephanie from Deliberately Creative, and I am here to share with you my #LoveSummerArt project. Before I get to it though, I want to explain a little bit about what the Love Summer Art event is about. It is part of the Creative Arts Collaboration, which is a group on Facebook that supports creative arts YouTubers. If you're a creative arts YouTuber and you'd like to join us, click on the More below in the description, click on the link to get to the application. Fill it out, turn it in, and join us. So my summer art is going to be blueberries. A painting about blueberries. I love blueberries. They're my favorite fruit of summer. This is actually from a photograph that I took, and they are all solid green blueberries right now. But the painting that we're going to do, there's going to be some that are green, some that are turning purpley, some that are already blue and totally ripe. So there'll be some stages in here.
All right, so this background is being put in with Cadmium Yellow Medium Hue, Yellow Oxide, Phthalo Blue, and a little bit of Titanium White. The blue, just tiny little touch of blue, and I just dot it very sparingly around on the background, just to give some variation to the background. Like there's a hint of some foliage in the background behind the blueberries when they go in place. And now I think we're going to have a little musical interlude while the sides get painted. So here I'm just showing that I had used the traceable to put the berries and the branches onto the canvas very lightly with the graphite that was on the back of the paper. And the list of colors is going to start going by here in just a second. And I'm just talking about the brushes. They're nothing special. There's some Creative Mark and some Artist Loft, random brushes, whatever works for you. I did do most of this painting with a 1/2-inch filbert. And I think it's an Artist Loft filbert that was for acrylic paint. Now, painting in the berries, they go in layers. So this back layer of the green is the underpainting layer. I love those little crowns that blueberries get, those little bits that poke out and stick up. They look almost like little hairdos in this picture. So this green that's going in the background is getting a little bit of the titanium white mixed with it, just sort of to soften it and make it glow a little bit. When berries start getting ripe, right before they start turning colors from green to their rosy, magenta-y, purpley color to the deep, 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 dark blueberry blue, in that transition time, they have just a moment where the green is almost translucent and it almost glows. And that's what I was trying to show with using the titanium white with the cadmium yellow and the phthalo blue. This little one is not going to look like a gumball when I'm done, but it was put in using the Quinacridone Magenta and white And then I picked up some of the Dioxazine Purple and the Magenta to start giving it some depth of color and shading. And there'll be more white and more magenta, and it will just keep going back and forth until it's shaped. It's almost like you're carving it with a paintbrush. So you're finding where's the highlight, where's the low light, and you put a little in and you take a little away. It's okay. Now these berries here in the middle, I was trying to decide which ones were going to be in front and which ones would be behind. And so I'm trying to work forward. So I tried to put the ones that are the farthest in the back down first and then start painting them as they come forward. I really like how these blueberries are turning out. They have some shape, they have dimension, even though they're flat on a canvas, they've got dimension. And oh, I like how that crown turned out too. That's a berry. That looks like blueberry to me. So, you know, you just keep playing with it and you just keep building. And the rest of the berries are going to be going in exactly the way these did. And so I think I'm going to stop here and just let music play quietly for a little while, and I'll come back when there's something interesting to talk about. I'm really enjoying how the layers of this paint, I'm not letting the paint really dry unless I'm doing something with the complementary colors. So I'm not letting it dry so much that I can't blend a little bit. There's a little bit of a wet into wet going on here, uh, just to give me a sense of that, the glazing that sort of happens. I'm not really glazing, I'm not thinning my paint, but I am working the wet paint into the wet paint. Now here's that brilliant deep blueberry, and it just makes me happy. It's that one, that sweet dark blueberry, the first one on your bush that you have to just pick and pop right into your mouth. And working this white onto the blue just gives it that real dusty whitish color that shows up on blueberries right when they're getting ready to be ripe. So I'm loving that. I am loving that so much. Now I'm going to go ahead and get ready to put in the branch that goes across the berries that these would all be sort of attached to, holding on to. I'm not really going to show many of the little attachment stems. I think that just gets fussy. And my original photograph did not show hardly any of those. And laying in the stem here, this is sort of the middle tone color. This is that middle green on the branches. Blueberry branches don't tend to be brown. When they're showing fruit, they are more tones of greens. There might be a little bit of the reddish tone to edges of them, but they're never really brown until the bush has been there for a long time. And then those woody stems are the ones that the fresh green stems pop out of, and the fresh green stems are the ones that are actually going to produce fruit. So I'm now working in the darks, and then I'm giving it some lights, and I work them light and dark until they have that sort of roundness feeling to them. It's all layers and it's all just paint. So you can let it dry, go back in, do something else. I'm not letting these dry. I'm just like when I was working the berries, I am working on top of wet paint because I like how it mixes on the canvas itself. You just let it mix, and you don't have, don't worry about it. Really and truly, don't worry. This is a sweet, gentle little painting that, it's only a 6-inch by 6-inch canvas. I have no problem with if I needed to just gesso the whole thing and start over again if it didn't turn out the way you liked it. This is actually the second time that I painted this canvas with the berries. Now, not this canvas, but painted a canvas with the berries. And my very first time, I wasn't really happy. I showed it to my husband, and he is so sweet, and he looked at me, and he never said he didn't like it. He actually said, yeah, he liked the first painting. But I could tell in that tone of his voice that there was something that he didn't like, and he would never tell me what it was because he doesn't want to hurt my feelings and all of that. And I understand, but looking at it the next morning, I decided that what I didn't like was I had the berries too squished together, too tight. There was no air around them. And so this one, I made an effort to keep space, keep some of that background showing between the berries. All right, so now it's time for me to be brave. I took that big paintbrush and I mixed up some really dark green to start laying in. And then I decided, you know what? I can't do all these in this giant paintbrush. It's just not going to happen. So I went and grabbed that sweet little half-inch filbert that I've been doing all of this painting in. And I'm just going to start laying all of these leaves in. And, just picking up the same colors that I've been using all the way through. Cad Yellow Medium, Phthalo Blue, Titanium White. I will touch into a little bit of the Ultramarine Blue also, just because. And so I'm just going to let some music play again while the leaves get put in. All right, so we're winding down here. We're getting towards the end. There's a few little touches here and there, and so while I'm still doing those touches, I want to ask if you would please click on like, leave me a comment, let me know what you thought of this painting. Would you like me to do more paintings? Would you like me to show you while I'm doing more paintings? Remember, I'm not a painting teacher. I am just a learner. I am a person who has fun doing this. And if you enjoy watching me and would maybe like to paint along, there is a full-length version of the painting up in the iCard. You can click on the link and go to the full-length version. That's about an hour and 15 minutes long. Don't forget that there are more amazing artists that are participating in this Love Summer Art hashtag event. Click on that iCard again and you will see the playlist. Click on that playlist. Please go and see what things other people are doing. It is so inspiring. And I really hope that you go out and do something creative today. Take care.